The Dolphins' future begins with a renewed commitment to continuity and consistency. That vision now rests in the hands of newly hired GM Jon-Eric Sullivan. Sully, as he's known, previously spent 22 seasons in the Green Bay Packers scouting department, earning a reputation for steady team building. Immediately after taking the job, Sullivan made his first major move, hiring Jeff Hafley, also from the Packers organization, as the new Miami Dolphins head coach. Hafley replaces Mike McDaniel, who was dismissed after the season. McDaniel finished his 4-year tenure with a 35-33 record and went 0-2 in his only playoff appearances in those 4 seasons. The team's inconsistency played a major role in the transition, highlighted by a difficult 1-6 start to the season. They put together a 4-game win streak in the middle of the season, mostly against weaker opponents aside from the Buffalo Bills. After that stretch, they managed just one more victory and never had a winning record at any point in the year. Jeff Hafley spent the past 2 seasons as the Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator, working closely with Jon-Eric Sullivan during that stretch. In Miami, he'll take over the defensive play-calling duties, installing a 4-3 base defense built around a zone-heavy philosophy. Hafley is also assembling a staff of familiar faces from his time in Green Bay and at Boston College, including Sean Duggan as defensive coordinator and Nathaniel Hackett as quarterbacks coach. The Dolphins entered the offseason with significant draft capital, the 11th overall pick, 5 selections in the top 100, including 3 in the 3rd round. On offense, Miami has promoted former senior passing game coordinator Bobby Slowik to the offensive coordinator. Slowik previously served as the Houston Texans offensive coordinator before joining the Dolphins last season, and he previously worked with Hafley on the San Francisco 49ers staff. Slowik is expected to shift the Dolphins toward a more physical run-first identity, pairing it with a heavy dose of play action designed to create separation at the 2nd and 3rd levels of the defense. The 2025 Miami Dolphins season fell well short of expectations, ending with a 7-10 record, 3rd in the AFC East, their 2nd straight losing campaign, and another missed playoff berth. The disappointing finish ultimately resulted in the dismissal of head coach Mike McDaniel. The organization also entered the offseason facing looming salary cap challenges tied to major contracts, including those of Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill, both signed through the 2026 season. Tyreek Hill tore his ACL in Week 4. Before the injury, he accounted for 23.8% target share, 265 yards, and 1 touchdown. Tua was benched after the Week 15 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers and relegated to 3rd string for the remainder of the season. Quinn Ewers took over, throwing for 622 yards with 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions across 4 starts. The long-term quarterback plan remains uncertain. Jalen Waddle led the team with 64 receptions for 910 yards, 24th in the league, along with 6 touchdowns. He averaged 56.9 yards per game, posting a 21.6% target share and a 65.3% catch rate. Savon Han finished 5th in the league with 1,350 rushing yards on 238 carries, averaging 84.4 yards per game and scoring 8 rushing touchdowns. He also added 67 receptions for 488 yards and 4 touchdowns, commanding an 18.7% target share. Defensively, the Dolphins' defensive line ranked last in the league. The unit finished 9th worst in points allowed and 19th in total defense. Head coach Jeff Hafley arrives with a strong defensive resume, having helped transform the Green Bay Packers into a top 10 unit and producing 45 takeaways over 2 seasons.